Previously on The Rise Effect.
When I woke up, they said, you have full-blown COVID, and so does your wife. And then all of a sudden, there's a knock at my window, right? I had this giant bay window, and I look, and it was a chaplain. And he's pointing for me to pick up the phone. He broke it down to me in layman's terms. Yeah. So basically, he said, you're going to be put into a medically induced coma and on life support. So the machine is going to be keeping you alive. And we need next of kin to make the hard decisions in case things go south, because both of you are very, very sick and it's not looking good. It was the hardest thing in the world to have to go through. But I said, I got to do it for my wife.
Can't imagine.
You have to be strong for her. At 3 in the morning, I received a call that she had stopped breathing because she had a mucus plug. The nurse also told me, this is at 3 a.m., that we don't know how long she was without oxygen. So we don't know the extent of the brain damage. We don't know if she's ever going to wake up. And if she does, we don't know who she's going to be.
I'm Cory.
And I'm Tymme.
I moved out to California from the East Coast.
I came to LA from Hawaii.
The goal was to be a star.
So I ended up in Hollywood.
For 15 years, I warmed up crowds on American Idol, Dancing with the Stars, and even spent the last decade touring the world as a DJ.
I started as a dancer and performed for artists like Aaliyah, Missy Elliott, and Will Smith. I then authored 3 books and became a pastor.
But through it all, something was missing.
I felt this desire to be a part of something real.
A movement that would change communities.
To tell stories of strength built on people's passions.
Driven by their courage and giving the world hope.
So we've come together to celebrate unsung heroes from around the world. This is The Rise Effect.
You wake up now, what happens?
Well, when I wake up, I can only move this hand. And in my terrorizing dreams in the coma, he was dead. So I was trying to comprehend when I would see him. You see him. Is this my dream? Is he alive? Is he dead?
Wow.
Eventually, with all the pictures in the room, realized he's still alive, you know. But it was hard because when I woke up, I couldn't only move this. I couldn't really talk, and trying to articulate and laying there in the bed without any movement was very daunting. But I had anxiety from the dreams. If they went out my room and left it dark, I was freaking out. The terror, the anxiety, the voices saying I'm gonna die, they're gonna get me. And so there I was on Anavan for a very long time of just fighting those dreams. But you have to fight to recover. Fight with all your might to recover from any circumstance. Because when I got into the rehab center and they came and said, Miss Coleman, we're gonna get you up to walk. And I was like, walk? I can only move this. I can't turn myself over in the bed. I can't move. They came in, Brandon came in, and they put sneakers on me and turned me to the side of the bed. And I remember the first day. And it's like, put the strap around me. Miss Coleman, we're gonna get you up. You gotta stand up. I did not know you had to tuck your butt under to get up and use your core. And he's like, okay, Miss Coleman, get up. And he's like, 1, 2, 3. And I can't do it. He's like, 1, 2, 3. Come on, Miss Coleman. And 1, 2, 3. I almost, come on, tuck your butt. Then the next time he's like, 1, 2, 3. Come on, Miss Coleman. You could do this. I got up and I was like, take a picture. 15 seconds. Take a picture. We're going to put it on Facebook. And I sat right back down. But at that moment, it was a defining moment. Because at that moment, I realized that I can recover. I was getting excited about it. Then they took me to the rehab center and he wheeled my walker, or my what do you call the thing? Wheelchair. All the way to the end of the building. And it's like, okay, you're gonna walk. And my gosh, and then they put me on the steps. And then when I set goals for myself for the steps, it was like, okay, I got 15 steps. So I'm gonna practice getting up these steps. Aaron showed up at my window, driving an hour and a half every day. Thank you, honey.
Of course, Mom.
Showed up at my window every day.
An hour and a half there and an hour and a half back home.
Back. Showing up at my window every day. Bees. Umbrella.
Her window was right by some bushes, and so every day I would put my little chair in the umbrella right in the bushes, and there were bees coming after me. There were beetles the size of coffee mugs chasing me around. I'm screaming, flapping my arms.
Yes.
I would come and I would spray Raid everywhere, and I'd like almost gassed myself. But I said, you know what? I have to see her. I had to see her eyes.
Every day.
So I would see her through the window, and then she would just smile, grinning ear to ear when she would see me at that window. I needed it, I think, even more than she did, just to see her, just to be close to her. And one day, her physical therapist took her outside.
Yes.
And
Catherine.
And she wanted Shirell to feel the sun and the air. And I'll never forget this. She would just sit there with her hands up, just feeling the air and the sun.
And she put a flower in my hair.
Put a flower
and
in
the
her
sun
hair.
was on me.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, I hear this voice, Shirell. I look, and it's him.
I just happened to be coming to her window
It's
that day,
you.
and she was out front with her physical therapist that day. And it was beautiful because usually she brought her out earlier than she usually does. So the timing was perfection because I just parked, and when I saw her and I called to her and I got to see her and she waved to me and I waved to her. I kept distance because I didn't want to get too close because I didn't want to compromise her. But oh my gosh, to see her physically like 30 feet from me, I couldn't believe it.
I couldn't believe it.
But good news came around. Soon enough, you were released.
Yes,
Right?
I was
You got to go
released.
home.
I seized that moment.
Yeah.
Because God gave me grace where while I was in there, I only lived from moment to moment. I didn't look at the neck. I went, and it was time to go home. I seized the moment. I came home to crowds of people in the courtyard. And I was like, and the paramedics were like, you want us to, they had me on a stretcher if you to carry you up. I said, no, I'm getting off the stretcher because I worked so hard to work on this box for 15 steps that I'm gonna walk up these 15 steps. And then I got up there, but to walk in my home. And he redid the whole place.
Redecorated
He
the
made
whole
it felt
house.
like a home. He did everything. And just to make it, he redid the whole place to make me feel, and it was wonderful. I can't describe everything that was going through me because just looking at the people and then knowing that I was gone for so long, there are times that you want to give up, but you can't give up. And you have to fight to recover, fight to go forward, fight to move forward, you know? And even today, I'm still fighting with this oxygen. But you have to fight to recover. You have to fight to rise. To rise for what God has given us to live for this beautiful life. You can rise to your purpose today. So rise, get up, don't give up, fight to rise.